All right, we're back with a new recording session. My voice is mostly back. I have a new patch of the press build and we are in game. So we're going to pick up where we left off with our mission in life to build some ships, mess up some aliens, and embrace the world of scientific process. I have 3 spare mission control. I've got some more MC coming online soon. Do I want to build Space Australia 2? Kind of think I do. Let's build... Still needs to be an interface orbit, so LEO2 is my favorite interface orbit because it's a nice little compromise. We'll call this Space Australia. No, we'll call this Space New Zealand. Come on, we got to call them out. Awesome. So solar array, and then I think this is a bunch of material science labs. Need another solar array. That's way overpowered, but that's all right. Now, I've been thinking, there's a possibility here that if I really want to show off the economic potential, like how to really economically boom in the game, I kind of need to divert to mission to the inner planets. But that's a heck of a diversion from getting fission pulse drives out, which I kind of want to show off too. So I'm not sure on that one. That's a bit of a judgment call that I can't make. What I do know is that I'm going to go to Space Australia, which is still building its power bases, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to having 3 space docks, so that when it comes time to build a vessel, I can build 3 at once, because we're going to overpower the aliens. The reason I've decided that we can shoot down an alien, not because it's practical. I think pissing off the aliens is actually a bad idea. The aliens in this game, they got a plan. They're not as dumb as they seem, and at the moment they seem content to do their own thing. I'm not sure how much that'll change once you start shooting them down. But if you look at this ship, all right? If you look at this alien vessel, you're like, ooh, scary, alien, fancy technology, exotics, lasers, whatever. But let's honestly evaluate this thing for a moment. First of all, the vast majority of its combat power is represented by this 917 delta V, this obscene amount of delta V. Which is great. It's what it needs to be able to get here from the Kuiper belt and then go back and refuel. So, fusion torch and whatnot, absolutely necessary. But everything else is a bit questionable. It's only got 2 weapon systems, a nose heavy laser cannon and some hull mounted laser cannons. Our ships are going to go up with 4 hull mounts. Yes, that's a powerful nose weapon, but it's not like a spinal mount or anything like that. So it's a heavy weapon, but it's not a super heavy weapon. Its max combat acceleration is only 2.5 Gs. Now, yes, that's much, much, much better than our ships, but it's not much better than our missiles. Its turn rate's really low, and while it's got 15.6 centimeters of alien exotic armor on the nose, it's got 0 armor on the sights. Nilch. Nada. Zip. The side of this thing is basically paper. It is no more resistant than the worst tin can that humanity can operate, which means the answer is obvious. You've got a big, massively over-engined ship. I'm not even sure that this... We've called this a destroyer. I'm not sure this is actually even a warship, to be honest. It's got some other mission in mind. It's got to have a payload in these utility modules because it's not geared for war. So all we really need to do, I think, because it's not very maneuverable, is put some weapons into a site. And there's nothing I can think of that is better for that than to go at it with, say, three warships mounting as many missile tubes as I can, because it's only got 1 small laser array to act as point defense. And it's not even a dedicated point defense laser. It's a combined offensive-defensive laser, which means that if I put enough tubes in the air, then it's going to have a problem. Copperheads have 4 Gs of acceleration and 5.5 thousand PS of delta V, which is way better than anything my ships will manage. But most importantly, that 4 Gs means that they can out-accelerate the thing. They do 51 damage, and if I spread my ships out, at least some of these missiles should hit the side. So what I'm thinking is if I go with a relatively basic ship design, doesn't need to be that complicated, we can use a Nerva drive, doesn't have to be particularly good. In terms of armor, we'll just apply our basic armor and we'll just put a little bit on the nose. We'll add a few propellant tanks. This thing needs a radiator. There we are, titanium radiators. We haven't researched good anything, so we're using shitty lithium-ion batteries the same way your Tesla would. Titanium array radiators, and then we give it enough propellant to have like 6 kps, which means it's basically only good in Earth orbit. Now, this thing has shitty acceleration. It's got 1/20th of the acceleration that the other ship has, and it's got 1/300th of the delta V, and it hasn't got anywhere near the same amount of armor. What it does have is 4 mounts. Each mount has 2 tubes, so that's 8 tubes of long-range standoff, heavy-hitting cruise missile that I can deploy, and if I build enough of these things and spread them out, well, that should do the job. So this is the Australia class monitor. Lacks Delta V for interplanet. Yeah, mate, I ain't doing no interplanetary travel. I'm going to shoot down an alien because people said you can't do that during the demo, and I'm absolutely convinced you can. All right, let's steal some projects from the servants.
We'll catch up on years of research.
Let's investigate alien activity.
What's the up?
And let's assault some alien... No, actually, let's... Do I need to do any defend interests? I think I'm okay for the moment. Yeah, everything... Oh, no, I need to defend interest. I'm probably going to need to abandon Australia soon, which is the unfortunate fact. Yeah. She's got 17 administration, so I'm actually going to slap her on advise for China and see how much of a difference that makes to our IP. To the economic growth. Okay, 1.6. It's worth 1.6, so about a 5% boost. Alright, solid core fission reactor 3, fine. We're getting close to advanced atomic manipulation.
Mission is a no-go.
Ah, bugger, we lost sight of the target. I really wanted to steal that project from them.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Good. So we'll be able to coup Finland
We're
soon.
winning their hearts and minds.
I feel like it's time to... I feel like we've got all these troops that are in Portugal. I feel like it's time to deploy them to hang out and do military exercises in Sweden that Finland shouldn't worry about at all. You know, we're just doing exercises.
We have found something.
Great, investigated the aliens. We're a little bit over on MC now, but I'm sure that our mission control finishes very soon. Oh, this is all the 14th of the next month. I thought it was sooner than that. 26th of the next month. That's also a problem. How close are we to getting some MC on Earth? I've overestimated by 1. 8.5, 4.5, 2.5, 17.8. That's much more promising, and that's 18. I don't want to spend a huge amount of money on this. 8. If I do that, that'll finish this cycle, which is all good. I'll need to do some trade with other factions soon in order to get a little more money. Let's go talk to the initiative, see if we can buy their money.
Ready for my mission.
I could steal projects from the initiative, but I'm also just going to go talk to them, so that seems like a bad idea. Public campaign.
Reporting in.
Bonza, what are your coup odds in Finland?
Ready for orders.
Fantastic. Go.
Time for a
No,
change.
that's not what I want. I don't want a coup in
Standing by for
Belarus.
orders.
Where do you need me?
Lukashenko is following humanity first, and, you know, don't need to throw him out.
Ready for my mission.
As
Where do you
rewarding
need
as that
me?
would be,
Ready.
more public campaign here, I
We must
suspect.
persuade the people.
Antonella,
to?
with your 23 admin and your 14 perception, you're very good at doing public campaigns, so maybe... Oh, it's a lot of money. I'll roll the dice on China. I just would like to be more popular in China.
Initiating contact.
It's no business
Yeah, you have
of
so
ours
much
if you wish
money.
to throw your lives
Jesus.
away.
Alright, so I assume that's about how much money you're going to sell me. You're willing to sell me. Do you want operation centers? Do you want fission reactor array? Do you want a non-aggression pact? Alright, we're looking good. You don't have any projects. Find that odd. Do you have any cool ones of these? That's not a bad one. You're saying it's a fair trade. That's actually a better one. Is there anything I want instead of them? It's pretty weak, that's okay. You've got a lot of money and mining ones, which I kind of like. You know, I'll just buy that. So we get 17 grand, a non-aggression pack, and an org. They get 2 technologies, including one quite good one. But I don't mind. And that puts us in a decent position wherein we have a non-aggression pact with them, non-aggression pact with Exodus. We've done advanced atomic manipulation. So here's the thing. Do we go... Mission to the Inner Planets is a 17,500 diversion, but it lets us go to Mercury. Or we can go all out. We can go Diamondoids, fission pulse drives, and make it our mission to make it out to alien territory by the end of the thing. Look, can we just assume that if you were being really pragmatic about this, you'd go advanced heat management, inner planets, like you'd be doing a whole bunch of stuff that isn't rushing Diamondoids. I might do advanced heat management just to get these, and while I wait for my boosts on everything else, but then I think we're going to go Diamondoid Fission Pulse, because I'm not aware of anyone who's built a ship that's gone out and whacked some aliens in the asteroid belt during the demo, so I'm going to try and do that. Fantastic. We took Finland.
Public sentiment is increasing.
Finland declares...
We are winning their hearts and minds.
Finland declares that they are, I don't know, they're prohibiting happiness and that they hate the European Union. There we are. Which makes it super acceptable for the European Union and the Americans to come and bring Finland safely liberated back into the fold. Outpost core at Garibaldi on Mars, that's good. We're building up our supply of Martian extracts. Space Australia's space docks, but still doesn't have power. Pretty sure. Let's just check Space Australia. Yeah, Space Australia still doesn't have power. The power finishes on the 30th. Why do we have no repeat missions?
I will try to
Antonella.
sway the public.
Standing by.
Rowena?
Reporting in.
Ready to go.
The US definitely needs some public support.
Standing by. Headed there now.
Let's just check which one's which.
Standing by for orders.
Where do you need me?
Alright, so we've got one person investigating.
At your service.
Okay, so there's only 2 locations, that's good.
Gear up.
Not a good odds, but we'll go after the... Oh, I was going to use her to declare war on Finland. Alright, Finland gets a 14-day extension lease on life. We'll help Europe out with the hurricane, of course. These Russian troops are just hanging by. Oh, lucky strike, 25% bonus income. Which reminds me, can we
Public
get...
opinion is moving in our direction.
that's your permanent assignment,
We're winning their hearts and minds.
as is yours. Let's get everyone's administration ranked up until it hits 25. That's a shit technology. I'm not spending time for a 15% boost. Fantastic, she beat the odds there. Love it.
We have found something.
And let's stop time moving. Okay, what do we got? No room on you, 1 point on you, and a whole bunch of criminal organizations. Don't actually like Phoenix Syndicate that much. +14, +2. is viable, and this is pretty weak, so let's unequip Agrippa Systems and equip this. That'll give us more ops and more money, and we're going to keep burning through the money as we expand our space station presence. They're pretty expensive to keep going. You have one free, so you could actually use public campaign, it'd be useful to you, but I'd rather get what some of these mining companies mounted for an extra 10% bonus. Is there anything I can take off you? That's a weaker mining bonus. That's a pretty good one. +4, +3, +2 investigation. And I'm about to abandon Australia. I'm actually going to unequip the Reddington Agency, which gives you 3, which means I can mount Heracles Energy. Watch this 16.3. 18. Fantastic. Scale that mining boost. It's now at 87. Good old Bonza Bunny. Could give you Delta, but I'd need to take something off you. I think for now you just get another 1-star, and once you can do one more admin, we can swap something out, and that'll be fine. Alternative is I take Sea Dragon off you, which loses you Stabilized Nation, but we're not using Stabilized Nation at the moment. And we equip Delta. It's just better and gives us more income. I think this is just simple money org. And we're good. Alright, money's in a better place. Everything except for influence is in a good place. Influence is cratered. We've abandoned Mexico. I don't want to abandon Canada. There's too much MC there. I might have to abandon Australia. I will come back for it. But we can't abandon Japan or Canada. There's too much MC there. And we've already abandoned most of our tiny nations. So, yeah. Okay.
We've found something.
Fantastic. That looks like we're launching a whole bunch more MC. I will in fact put HEO MC7 into orbit at this point. And this might be maybe even our last MC station. But if we're not going to Mercury on what I would consider like curve on time, we're going to have to make do with these less efficient stations, rather than the wonders that you can do around Mercury. Oh, I did that wrong. Alright, that should be another MC boost, which will be good when it finishes. Oh. Oh no.
At your service.
So this time we won't mess this up.
Where to?
Dawn,
Ready.
if you would like to declare war on
Heading to the
Finland
capital.
for us.
Ready to go.
Mr. Pimpata, I really need to clean up my public opinion in the United States, so if you and Mr. Bunny could go sort that out, although Mr. Bunny is very good at blowing stuff up. So Mr. Bunny may go do that. Fantastic. Quantum batteries.
You are a shining star.
Advanced heat management. Great. Okay, so here is the point where I would think it would normally be a no-brainer to pick up Mission to the Inner Planet. It wouldn't take too long to complete, and it lets you go to Mercury. But if I do the math here, this is going to be done by 2027. I'd be setting up in Mercury by 2028. You get to see me in Mercury for about 2 years, going absolutely nuts. Question is that worth it? Because what am I doing per day? 2.4 thousand a month. 2,500 a month. So it's like a 6 or 7 month diversion. This is kind of painful. I think I can make the economy work perfectly well. This is a demo, but this is the choice I would go through under ordinary circumstances. For now, we're going to go diamondoids. It'll be finished in April 2027. A little bit faster once I start getting bonus research running, which I will as more and more MC comes online, as it now has. That's your permanent assignment.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
We've got more MC happening, so I could even throw up... Yeah, you're sabotaging my boost, but I don't actually mind. We're going to call this Tech Rush Station. Even though it only mounts basically level 1 tech modules. And it's basically just going to be 2 solar arrays and a shit ton of material labs. For as much bonus on the tech as we can find.
Policy direction complete.
Declare war Finland. Okay, so what that means is we can now move basically all of the European, most of the American, and most of the Russian armies into Finland in order to bring Finland into the European Union. That's the MC that we're going to use to build a fleet. We could even build another resource extraction site on Mars. Space Australia, LEO. So, let's have a look at Space Australia. Is it now operational? It is! Which means our research bonus is now plus 21%. Let's cut this back to March. That's very powerful. I like it, but most importantly, we can add 3 Australia-class monitors to our build queue. It doesn't actually cost us most of our resources. In particular, the water expenditure is there, but we've got solid water incomes. So that'll take us to 56 MC. We've got more MC in construction. I kind of think we could almost lay another site at Mars for even more production. Well, I'm not sure what we're short on. You're always short on nobles, because you can sell them. Fizzles and nobles you can always sell. No one's going to say no to water income. We're eventually going to get to series. Question is, do I want all the extra water income? Or do I want a little extra nobles income? Or do I want to balance? I mean, the problem is I want everything, right? But I think for the moment the water income's holding up relatively well. Volatiles is you have to pay maintenance on a bunch of stuff. We'll found Arabia Terra. We'll call this Mar 9, because we need to name the other one Mar 8 at some point. And as usual, what we'll do is we'll slap down a mining complex and a fission pile. Life is good when you have enough MC to go around.
Standing by.
Dawn, investigate alien activity. Bonza, what are your coup odds? See, if I wanted to mess with humanity first, I could clean up Europe. But I have a non-aggression pact, so the border gore is going to survive for the moment. Instead, I think Bonza, no, you're not going to have a chance in India.
We must persuade the people.
We'll just clean up Japan a little bit. As our armies arrive in Helsinki. We can now construct nanofactories. Okay, so, or rather we can research nanofactories. Ah, shit. Sudden dramatic spike in energy prices. Oof, that GDP hit. That GDP hit. And of course we don't have technology advanced enough in order to make that not a problem.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
That hurts. That event's not guaranteed, but that's just basically bumped our GDP back to the sort of levels you were
Our
seeing at the
pace
start of the
remains
game.
unheard.
Skunkworks, another useful one. So, nanofactories, level 2 construction modules, which means they can build level 2 modules. They're very important. They give a small bonus to material science. They're expensive, they eat metals, but if you're using them and you're not constructing anything, they make you money. So they're one way to start a very basic, very expensive space economy. Skunkworks speed up projects. They give you this acceleration, which researches your engineering. So these are all very useful things, which I'm not focusing on. We should now be positive again on influence, thanks to absorbing Finland, which means we can start sending all these armies home. Yeah, we knew we were going to lose Mexico. We had abandoned it. Dawn is the only free agent at the moment. I am disappointed about the energy crisis, man. The energy crisis is bumming me out. You all need to be more reasonable in how you price your fossil fuels. Get you some renewables. And of course, yes, I know there's plenty of ways to deal with that event, but probably not by this stage of the game if you're doing this sort of a tech rush. $117 days. Fantastic. Turkey is probably a next good target, throwing the servants out of Turkey.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
The people will come to our side.
Unfortunately, it is peaceful.
The people will come to our side.
Okay, so we just had a loose packet take out our fission pile here. Luckily, we do have a construction module, so it'll just be 30 days to get that back online.
Prepping for my next mission.
You can imagine if you had sent it out from Earth, it's a bit more of a problem. Okay, Mars 9's finished its base outpost. It'll take a little bit for the finish. That sounds like Space New Zealand finishing its Tech 1 modules. It'll be a while for its Tech 2s, but we're still racking up the research.
Ready for my
Dawn.
mission.
Dawn. Advise the EU, start getting it back online.
Your orders.
And as for you, Bonza, your odds there are pretty low. Is there anywhere else on the map that we can just annoy the servants? You know, why don't we just throw these servants... Oh no, it's not worth throwing them out of Uruguay. Let's throw them out of Bolivia and then immediately abandon the nation.
Offering assistance.
Because why not?
Freedom and justice.
Yep, so that's a coup in Bolivia.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Congratulations, we brought you freedom, but there you go.
Public opinion is moving in our
Okay,
direction.
so we could be reducing debris. Debris is a big thing, okay? Warning, debris is a big thing, particularly in low Earth orbit. There's a lot of ways to make debris, there's very few ways to get rid of it, and we have access to none of them. If we had weapons on the station, like lasers, we could destroy it. If we had a shipyard, we could do this. If we had a construction module, we could do this. But alas, all we can do is get a little bit of science and not reduce debris at all. What a shame. And you can never control which station that event fires for. I'd like it if it fired more for stations that, you know, actually have the stuff, but I understand the point. 33 boost. It makes me wonder, I could pick up, for 1,000 research, the Tech 2... If I did that, it cost me almost a month on Diamondoids. Because this would let me start getting a T2 economy going. I can afford a little diversion to pick this up. Just because nanofactories are going to be very useful to me. Especially since my economy is not what it used to be. I've lost about 2/3 of my net money income.
I will tell our story.
Your orders.
And I don't want to keep advising because it's going to... I'll advise a little more, but it's going to eat up my... It's going to eat up my influence to a degree. So this is going to get the economy going, but it's not going to get the economy roaring. And the problem with the energy crisis is it's done bad things for inequality around the world. Like you can see, the United States is back to very high inequality. So we kind of need
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
to lose in the United States. In fact, I'm going to turn off mission control investment in the United States and up welfare to 27 or even 29%. Because we need to get inequality under control. I even lower knowledge to 26. I'll do that. I'll do 31% welfare. I'll even slow the military to 10. There we are. Because the space economy is going well, the Earth economy, she's a bit better. We're doing okay. Like, this European Union is still very strong. People point out that you have more investment points if you don't federate, but that's a little bit deceptive because when you think about it, applying economy EPs only increases GDP in that one. So just because you have 10 EPs in each, you still need to spend half of them to keep the economy going, you know? Same with things with like welfare and knowledge. The yields of specific resources are hard to get into. Often it is better in raw output to have two separate nations, but it costs considerably more influence upkeep.
I will
So
help them.
I'm definitely team Mega Nation. Cermat Nerva. It's a better version of the Nerva drive, but we've already committed to building our tin cans using Nerva engines, so no time to research a replacement now.
We've moved the needle.
Space New Zealand is online,
We've
operational,
moved the
and
needle.
producing. We have lots more MC now,
We've
so I
moved
could
the
even throw
needle.
another scientific
The
research
people will
station
come
up
to
there.
our side.
We can repurpose it for other things later. We're just going to continue the Commonwealth at this point. Get me Orion engines before the demo is over. This is a case of me no longer playing the game optimally. There are absolutely better ways to go about playing the game at this point. Like I said, the natural expansion point is Mercury to continue scaling this economy. But we're going Diamondoids and Orion drives with the objective of going and probably picking one of these alien bases, maybe Vesta. 4 Vesta seems like a good one. There we are, there's the nano factory. I don't really care because I'm not going to be putting any research into it. I'm going to put solid core fission reactor 3, but deprioritize it entirely. Because again, I don't need a better solid core fission engine. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is we're going to go try and kill some aliens on their home turf, or at least their forward basing turf, rather than doing the logical thing, which is turning Mercury and Venus into like fortresses of humanity. So the idea is Mars becomes your outer defense layer, or Ceres if you go there. Ceres is a bit far out. Mars becomes your inner defense layer, Earth is your strong point, and those two together shield, in a sense, Mercury and Venus. Doesn't work quite like that because, you know, you can just bypass things, but that's the idea.
What's the op?
Okay, Bonza Bunny. Look, we just got
We'll make our appeal.
our big problem is inequality. Extreme levels of inequality in China is hurting us, making it hard to bring up democracy. I'm going to increase welfare at the cost of... I'm going to do something like this. So we're slowing the growth of democracy, and in exchange we're speeding up the solution to this massive income inequality problem, while still probably keeping the economy growing. Now, what we're going to do just to get a little bit of extra money, is we're going to found 2 orbitals in LEO1. LEON-1. Or Leon 1. So nanofactories. Nanofactories eat 10 monthly support cost in metals. So keep that in mind, but they do produce a bit of money. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw solar array, solar array, solar array, solar array, nano, nano. Notice how long they take to build. 270 days. You'll be here for a bit. And then solar, solar, nano, nano. And to help power that, let's go out to Mars. And let's found. Let's get the metals. So let's found Mars 10. And actually, to be extra efficient, what I can do here is go triple solar collector for lower upkeep. You could also go for T2 bases at this point. I've got the MC to do it. But instead, what I'm doing is I'm hogging all the sites instead. There's some good volatiles and metals up here, so let's found these. Mars 11. Our economy can pretty effortlessly support these. Yeah, sure, Mars. These aren't good like yields, but they're good enough to justify the mining complexes, that's for sure. That's Mars 12. Let's go here. For Mars 13. And why not? Are any of the rest of these any good? There's a lot of volatiles here. Enough metal to sort of pay for itself. I really hope there is an achievement for occupying all spots on one of the major bodies. Like, not an asteroid, but like, we're doing pretty well here. I'm kind of tempted to occupy the last 2, not because it's strategically significant. I kind of want to leave open MC slots for Ceres, but it would be kind of funny to take all the slots on Mars. You know what? Screw it. Just checking that's 9. It is. 1, 2, 3. There we are, Mars 16. Outpost. Then what we'll do is we'll do fission pile. Fission pile. Space Science Lab, just so someone's doing research on Mars. There we are. Clean sweep. Gotta love it. Everyone's got a mission.
Prepping for mission.
Let's go back to Earth. And I'm pretty sure we've still got more MC being created. No, we don't, but we got enough gap.
Assistance.
So those will push us into the mid-70s. Probably worth creating MC8. Yeah, I'll do that. HEO MC8. If you don't know by now the structure of these stations, they make my economy hurt and my MC sing. Would it be better to put these around Mercury? Yes, but we're going to build them around Earth. And hopefully when the nanofax and other orgs come online, we should be able to continue balancing the budget. We did trade for like 17k though, so we're doing okay on the money. Orbital core for Tech Rush Station is online, pushing us to plus 57%.
We've moved the needle.
So we'll have Diamondoids by March. And then I think we can go straight for Fission Pulse. This income is okay. I would like some of this to be higher, but when those new mines finish, they should be.
Lending my expertise.
Okay, we're lowering inequality reasonably quickly, but not like super quickly.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
The people
You can
will
see we're
come
moving
to
our
our
MC
side.
over to
Public opinion remains
being space-based, so I'm going to de-emphasize that and just up the welfare again to deal with the energy crisis. Because otherwise the EU is good. 900 research is great, actually. We are still getting a lot of accidents, but that's okay. That's not a huge problem.
ready for orders.
Bonza, how about you go investigate those
alien
alien
sites.
activity that we just spotted?
Offering counsel.
I believe I just missed a chance to steal fission kit there, and it's about time I go protect my CPs again. So after this rotation, that's exactly what I'll do. We are 21 days
We've moved the needle.
from launching our
Public sentiment is
multinational
increasingly with us.
Chinese, American,
Here's what we
Russian,
found.
EU mega fleet, which consists of 3 tin cans with a bunch of missiles. They're basically like a quarter missile. Alright, so Bonza, you can't protect interest, so you just public campaign,
Making our
but
course.
Dawn can protect
Reporting
interest,
I'm here,
Rowena can protect interest,
securing our interests.
Antonella
At your
can,
service.
you guessed it, protect interest.
Securing our
And then next rotation we're going to do it all over again
Making things
to cover
safe for our
China,
people.
Canada,
Securing our control.
Securing our control.
Japan, China. We got a lot of countries to protect. Japan's the greedy one so far as the odd one out in the set, but I kind of want it. China's going to take a lot of fixing. Inequality in China is so bad. Okay, we got Diamondoids. Diamondoids, fission, pulse, drives.
Our cause is unjustified to them.
Doesn't matter, try again. Alright, there we go. First human spaceships launched. Let's go take a look. Let's join these fleets together. Romeo 1, 2, 3. Nah. What are we going to call these guys? Let's keep it PG for now. All right, Battlefleet Earth. Battlefleet Earth has a combat power of 2k. It's got 3 vessels in it. Are there any aliens coming nearby that we can, mess with? Victor 13 will arrive on the 12th of next month. Is it the same as the before? Yeah, it's one of those undergunned, under-armoured destroyers in inverted commas with no maneuverability. So, I think Battlefield Earth is going to have something to say to him when he arrives, because I only have 6 KPS, but 6 KPS is enough to maneuver within orbit. So, there we go. And really, it shouldn't matter how high his technology is. If he's got 0 armor, and he's got 0 armor,
I'm here.
I should be good. Okay, defend China,
Protecting our interests.
Your orders?
defend Canada,
Yeah.
Ready for orders. Protecting our
and
interests.
defend Japan.
Protecting our interests.
When do we
Making
finish
things
Fission
safe
Pulse
for our
Drive?
people.
13 September
Making
2027.
things safe for our people.
And that's assuming we don't get any more... Wait, what did I just unlock? Wasn't Pulse Drives, was it? No, it wasn't Pulse Drives. Whatever it wasn't Pulse Drives. Those mines are starting to come online. There's the income. There's the income. 603 and 992. That's the incomes. Those are the incomes I wanted. Abandon Mexico. I don't want it and I can't pay the influence cost. If I abandon Australia, I'm going to abandon Mexico. 50.7 a month. That's vaguely serviceable. We'll never be drowning in influence. We'll never be able to do much direct investment, but it's
People
okay.
will come to our side.
Now we're waiting for one of those Victor fleets to enter orbit. The fission pulse drive, by the way, is a real idea. The Orion engine is a real idea, and the basic idea is, how does humanity know how to release a bunch of energy?
by.
Well, nuclear bombs are the things we have which release the most energy. So how do we,
Investigating alien sites.
use that?
What's the up?
Well, the answer is you drop a bunch of nuclear bombs behind a spacecraft with a giant plate to take the blast.
Making our case.
Reporting in.
Acknowledge.
And then you ride the blast wave.
I will tell
And
our
if that
story.
sounds nuts, it's because it is. And if you think that sounds like it would be a good way to propel a vessel really, really quickly, well, it also is. So, it was rejected in real life because it involved a spacecraft carrying magazines of dozens, potentially, or even hundreds of nuclear weapons, and then dropping them behind it, and then detonating them in space or in orbit. But that's not going to stop
Target
us.
secure.
Okay, we're at 62%. Thanks to Space Canada. Dumbo Drive is another upgraded Nerva. So we've pushed ourselves to now plus 62% research bonus, which brings this down to 4 September.
Cleaning things up.
Alright. Victor 13 has entered orbit. Battlefleet Earth. How much will it take to make an intercept of Victor 13? You only need 0.26 kps. Arrival time, 2 hours. So if we look at Battlefleet Earth, they should now start transferring after they finish undocking, because everything is modelled. These guys have their 6-tube nuclear-powered rockets. Pretty fancy by modern standards, but we were talking about building Nerva engines during the Cold War, and we could have built. We did build functional Nerva engines or prototype Nerva engines. I'm pretty sure during the Cold War. So it's not like we couldn't build a Nerva tomorrow if we needed to. People are just nervous about putting nuclear weapons in space. So we're now transferring. What I'm waiting for is when they hit, so they're probably in their phasing orbit at the moment, and then at some point they're going to hit the point where they have to burn. But you can't, because of the, as you can imagine, the great efforts involved in rendering this sort of stuff. Alright, here we are, combat imminent. So, you have number of ships, 3 to 1, combat power, 2.1 to 6.6. But, like I said, I think most of his combat power is his insane Delta V reserves, and he's got no armor on his sides. We want spread, line, archers. Okay, so this will give us a single long line of ships, hopefully spread out. We'll engage him, and the idea is we're just going to go straight at him, fire missiles, and then whichever way he faces, some missiles are going to come in from the side. He should accept, because on paper we're weaker than him, but I'm pretty sure that in a rock, paper, scissors matchup, we're good. Now, if we had come at him with heaps of ships and outgunned him, he could have just run. He's got 600 kps, we don't. So here we are. Now, I'm going to show off my super advanced fleet command strategy. I'm going to tell everyone to pull their radiators in. I'm going to tell everyone to priority target. I'm pretty sure everyone has now got priority target on that guy. Yep, great. And then I'm going to tell everyone to padlock which means whatever other instructions I give, they'll try and point their nose at him, and then that should do the job. Alright, let's unpause it. So basically all I'm going to do is whatever he does, because he's got all the engines, he's got all the Delta V, I'm just going to point my nose at him and I'm going to shoot missiles at him basically. So there we are, those are the first volleys of copperheads. Okay, he's engaging with his laser weapons, so the Australia is taking a whole bunch of pounding right in the nose. Looks like it's burned through its armour, so the Australia is taking serious damage, but there you go. All it would have taken was the missiles from this side hitting his side armour, of which there was none, and we're done. Just enough tubes to overwhelm his point defense. Australia is in pretty bad shape, but it is what it is. So we have salvaged an alien spacecraft, we have salvaged alien technology, we have objective complete alien technology, life is good, 500 influence, the Australia is damaged, but in an hour or two, we can transfer them back. At 419, we can send them back to Space Australia for repairs. So transfer to Space Australia, where they can do repairs. They'll get there in about 12 hours, and we are good. So there you are. Was it a good idea? I don't know. Probably not, because the aliens will probably respond. We don't have shipyards up around Mars yet. We really should. That is actually something I will do right now. Actually, no, I'll do it next episode. We should put up a shipyard around Mars and build a couple of defensive ships in case they come for us. As for the moon, hopefully not. We might be able to get away with blowing up one alien ship, but if they come around and start torching my MC stations, let's just hope Battlefleet Earth is up to the task. The good thing is, about the aliens, when you think about where they're based, if their primary shipyards are still out here, they're only building forward bases now. It's going to take them like a year, maybe. If they decide to respond immediately, they've just got more of these destroyers. If they want to build an actual warship, it's going to take them a period of time, and then it's going to take like a year to transit into the inner system. So we should have a bunch of warning. I mean, maybe the demo will end before they can beat me up, and that'll make me feel better about life. So there we are, Battlefleet Earth, back there, into repair, and I think that's it. I think that's a heck of an achievement for one episode. There you are, clock it, 13 April 2027. We probably could have done it faster, because these things are slightly overengineered. I could have done it with chemical rockets, I reckon, against those destroyers. We'll see what happens if the aliens actually send any warships with side armor and a good point defense, but there you go. Low-tech solution, they won't make that mistake again. Or they might, but they'll stop making it eventually. Hope you're enjoying. See you again soon.